So right now, the majority leader, I think that's what they give Akpabiole, right? So they had to deliberate on this and demanded for more punishment for Natasha for disrespecting Akpabiole in his own motion. Bawandele.
You have a vote of confidence as a Senate, because this is not about you. This is about us as an institution. This is about our rules and procedure, our practices and convention, and parliamentary tradition that we are sustaining in this place.
You just said something now. Please,
Yes.
Just a minute. Those in support of the statement of the leader that the Senate President has the support and the love of the entire 10 Senate, say aye. Aye. And those against say nay. The ayes have it. So the Senate leader, whatever you say is from the pulpit.
Well, thank you.
Continue.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the reason I'm standing up to speak at this time, early enough, is that there is no one of our colleagues here who does not have an opinion on this issue. Whether they even speak out or not, everybody has an opinion. But we are all united on one thing. Our rules must be respected, because that is what binds us together. People who serve for 8 years as governor, chief executive in states, people who serve as honorable ministers of this federal republic, and they will still go to the nooks and crannies of their villages and constituencies to go and contest election, to come to this hallowed chamber. It is because there is something about the Senate. And under our watch, we are not going to allow this institution to be discredited. We are not going to leave behind, for those coming after us, an institution that is any weaker than what we inherited. So when it comes to protecting the integrity and credibility of this institution, no one takes it for granted. Let me also make it clear to members of public that the whole simi ulabalu about one of our colleagues, Senator Natasha Akpoti being asked to move to another seat, is nothing that has to do with gender, is nothing that has to do with hatred, is nothing that has to do with any form of malice. For the record, let me say again, distinguished Senator Adamu Alero, who had been governor for 8 years, who had been honorable minister, and who is one of the most ranking senators in this Senate today, was asked to move his seat. And he didn't make any issue out of it. We had a reason to change the seat of His Excellency Distinguished Senator Aminu Waziri Tambuwa. He didn't make any issue out of it. Senator Jarigbe, we had a reason to move his seat. He didn't make an issue. Senator Wadada, we moved his seat. He didn't make an issue out of it. That's on the minority side. On the majority side, we had reasons to move the seat, change the seats of the likes of Senator Wamako, obviously one of the most ranking senators here, two-time governor before. He didn't make any issue. Senator Olamilekan will change his seat. Senator, that's the chairman of appropriation. Senator Adetokunbo Abiru will change his, and several other people here. And the part of the reason that necessitated our recent decision to change seat was because at least 3 people, 3 distinguished colleagues, had moved from the minority aisle to the majority aisle. First was distinguished Senator Ifeanyi Uba of blessed memory. And then Senator Ezenwa Francis Oyewuchi moved. And then lately, distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko moved. All of this necessitated a change in our sitting arrangement because we needed to readjust. Of course, I understood why the distinguished Senator Adaramodu would be concerned. He's our image maker, he's our spokesperson. And most of all listened to the interview that distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti granted unberiketed. She exercised her right to speak. But the question was about the contents of what she said, whether it was the truth or not. Sir, we have a committee that is in charge of how much of a strength of character we display as elected members of this Senate. How much of respect to the rules of this Senate that we display. That is the Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petition. That committee has a responsibility not only to investigate whatever alleged, refusal to obey our rules or display of lack of strength of character, but the committee also has a responsibility to ensure that the privileges of the affected senator are also protected. And it is important that rather than us sitting here to debate this issue, that we just allow this matter most respectfully.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people approving. People should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger because some people will be at indoor.
Àsìkò òǹgbẹ lọ́tún lósì ẹ̀mí òsì káàrẹ̀ Jagaban Kerim.
Jagaban Kerim. Anyway, the vote of confidence was passed on Akpabiole, and they went further in punishing Natasha. Natasha is believed to have violated the unforgivable section of their house rule, and it was deliberate. So to serve as a deterrent to others, Akpabiole and others, others moved the motion. Akpabiole stamped it like this one.
So let me refer you to section 66 of our rule book. Section 66, subsection 1. It says, the President of the Senate or the Chairman, maybe while sitting as Chairman of Committee of the Whole, after having called the attention of the Senate or of the committee to the conduct of a senator who persists in irrelevance or tedious repetition, either of his own arguments or of the argument used by other senators in debate, may direct him to discontinue his speech. So even when you are talking, the Senate President has a right to ask you to discontinue your speech. And then section 66(2) says, if such a senator refuses to resume his or her seat, this is the first time the rule book is even referring to her, the President of the Senate, or in the case of sitting as Chairman of Committee of the Whole, shall order such a senator whose conduct is grossly disorderly to withdraw immediately from the Senate during the remainder of that day's sitting. The President of the Senate shall order such a senator to withdraw in the event that he views her conduct or his conduct to be disorderly for the remainder of that day's sitting, and the sergeant at arms shall act on such orders, or he may receive from the chair in pursuance of this order. All the Senate President will do is to order that senator to stop talking. And if that senator persists, then the Senate President will now say, withdraw for the remainder of the day. Please leave the chambers. And then he doesn't even need to call on the sergeant at arms. It is the job of the sergeant at arms to immediately enforce that order. The President of the Senate shall allocate a seat to each senator. Sub 2 says a senator may only speak from the seat allocated to him, provided that the President of the Senate may change that allocation from time to time. It's not me that made these rules. So even without giving reason of defection, decampment, or anything, the Senate President can observe, as they are calling me in the social media, headmaster. The headmaster can observe that two senators are too close and they are always discussing. And it says, in order to ensure they stand too close to Sahabiya, you move to this other seat. And it must be obeyed. So let me refer you to section 60.
So that's Akpabiole explaining his power as the rule book of their Senate, the Nigerian senators' rule book, dictated. So therefore, Natasha will be suspended for 6 months without pay until she comes back to their level as they have now prescribed, you know. Same thing also is happening, well, maybe not same, it's pretty much worse because they killed people in Osun State, where APC, Akpoti versus the PDP. You know the story, right? But here is the long speech given by the Makinde Ibadan, as well as the Governor Ade Jackson, you know, Governor Ajogbafida of Osun, you know, the Tifnumbu's nephew, which is that Oletola. Now, Oletola, who is the Minister for Marine Spirits, all right, and water spirit and all other spirit like that. So Oletola is angling to come back as the governor of Osun next year. However, Governor Ade Jackson wants to also come back for second term. So the appeal court that ruled that the APC, Adeleke chairman, should be returned back to the office is, okay, they didn't rule. Okay, just struck out at the appeal of Governor Ajogbafida, you know. Anyway, the wala since then. The problem right now is Governor Ade Jackson has managed to take control of these local government areas because there's been no skirmishes, there's been no fights or what have you in the last couple of days. And he has also conducted his own local government elections. He sworn them in as well. And he told them to go back to the local government areas, which I have not seen any form of resistance, okay? So wherever he's playing out, right? The first person to tell these guys to go back to court and ask court to come and, you know, execute that judgment, if there is any judgment, was a Makinde Ibadan in his words.
I'll just make a small comment, but let me first and foremost congratulate the newly minted chairman and chairperson and vice chairman and chairpersons of all the 30 local government areas of Osun State. Congratulations. don't forget the promises you made to the people during your campaign. This is an opportunity for you to deliver goodies to our people at the grassroots level. And my prayer is with the support of your governor and the state government, you will deliver. And some of you, this will be your stepping stone to higher positions, because the reward for hard work and for delivery is more work. So more work will come. Myself and the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, we decided to come here to witness this momentous occasion and to solidarize with the government and the people of Osun State. Thank you. Not too long ago, about a week and a half, we were in Lagos for the PDP for Southwest Governors Forum meeting. We were not of the same party. We had PDP governors from the Southwest. We also had APC governors from the Southwest. We came together in the interest of our people, in the interest of our zone, to tackle those problems that are common to us. And our expectation is we'll have the support all the way to the top. Because what's the essence of governance, if not to deliver goodies to the people in our various states and in our various zones? So when the event started unfolding here, to the extent that lives were lost, we felt we should come around and sound a warning. We're all students of history. We know what we went through when the Southwest was wild, wild west. We do not want wild, wild west. They should stay away from this zone. Thank you, sir. We just want to peacefully deliver dividends to our people. And nobody should resort to self-help. Even if you have court judgments, there's a process. Let the process go through. You cannot, because you have so-called federal might. Thank you, sir. Wow. You want to complete the process.
That was Solo Makinde Ibadan. But Governor Ajogbafida himself, right, at the Jackson, also delivered the paper, which I just want to leave in this, in this convo. Nice one. Oshifeso, brother, your comments, which I highlighted earlier, all right, said, hope you are enjoying Houston. When are you having the, when are you having the meet and greet? For my Houston-based followers, I think I answered that earlier. Festus, we do not have all the time anymore. Assuming that I'm so sorry though, right? Like assuming that we've planned it ahead, people would have heard about it and people would have so I don't think we can do the meet and greet anymore. I don't, but we can meet and greet though. If you are in Houston, we can meet and greet. It's just that I kind of love it, right? That when we came in, we had a chance of, getting a car, all right? And I've been driving to everywhere, right, in the last couple of days, to the point that it now feels more like we are back in Glasgow, right, where you can just say, okay, I want to go and pick up food. I want to go and pick up something from the shop, or we're going to Walmart, or we're going to Target,